James Mago Gately pulled into the Topaz petrol station on Clonshack Road, completely unaware of the imminent danger lurking nearby. Unnoticed, a black Lexus silently pulled up next to him, its darkened windows masking the identities of its occupants. This wasn't just any vehicle, it had a curious past, once serving in the Pakistani embassy's fleet before being sold for a bargain €3,700. For Gately, it was just another day, but for the occupants of the Lexus, it marked the culmination of a sinister plan. This car had been shadowing Gately since the previous day, its intentions unknown to him. Without warning, the driver of the Lexus sprung into action. The car surged forward, closing the distance between them in an instant. The sound of 5 gunshots tore through the air, each one captured in stark clarity by the station's CCTV cameras. Gately, hit by the bullets, staggered out of his car, only to collapse onto the cold, hard pavement. The assailant, showing no hesitation, sped away from the scene. He was heading to a predetermined rendezvous point in Dramascon, County Louth. There, with meticulous precision, the hitman and his accomplice set about destroying the Lexus, leaving no trace of their deadly deed behind. Meanwhile, Gately, despite his grievous wounds, managed to summon help, directing the authorities to his location on the station's forecourt. Miraculously, he survived the assassination attempt, thanks to the foresight of wearing a bulletproof vest. While 4 bullets were intercepted by the vest, one struck him in the jaw. The motive behind the attack became clear as rumours circulated of mob boss Daniel Kinahan's desire to eliminate Gately. The Kinahan Cartel had orchestrated the shooting as part of their vendetta against Gately, linking him to the Regency Hotel murder, despite no charges being laid against him at the time of the attack in May 2017. Let's delve into the details of this chilling incident. Welcome to the Pursuit of Perpetrators channel, where I unravel the veiled tales of cryptic crimes. Caolan Smyth, a relatively unknown figure in Gately's circles, had only come to attention for minor offences, such as attempting to siphon diesel for his petrol car. However, the failed hit on Gately revealed Smyth as a pivotal player, strategically deployed by the Kinahan Cartel in their relentless feud with the Hutch faction. At just 25 years old, Smyth found himself entangled in 2 of Dublin's most dangerous gang conflicts. Following the chaotic Kinahan-Hutch feud of 2016, law enforcement ramped up efforts against the Kinahan cartel, leading to arrests and members fleeing the country. This created vacancies within the cartel's Dublin operations. Ambitious individuals like Smyth quickly ascended the ranks, becoming indispensable assets in the cartel's machinery. Despite Smyth's notoriety as a skilled gunman involved in numerous shootings, he wasn't the Kinahan cartel's first choice for the assassination of Hutch associate James Mago Gately in 2017. This marked the second attempt on Gately's life in just over a month. Initially, the cartel had recruited Estonian hitman Imre Arakas for the task, flying him from Spain to Dublin on 3rd of April 2017. However, his plans were foiled when he was apprehended by law enforcement before he could carry out the assassination. Gately, once a boxing trainee under Daniel Kinahan in Spain, had been residing in Northern Ireland due to the hefty €500,000 bounty on his head. Arakas was subsequently sentenced to 6 years in prison, with authorities suspecting direct communication between him and Kinahan concerning the assassination plot. After Arakas's arrest, Smyth assumed the responsibility of hunting down Gately on behalf of the cartel. Smyth, now on the cartel's payroll, established a base at Pierce House in Dublin city centre. Taking extensive precautions, he installed bulletproof windows to guard against reprisals from rival factions. His ostentatious presence, marked by the flashy jeeps he frequently drove, initially attracted law enforcement's attention. Moreover, suspicions arose that he used his time there to recruit young individuals for gang conflicts, particularly in the Sheriff Street area. Smyth aimed to assert his influence in the city centre by openly aligning himself with the Kinahan cartel. As the guards intensified their investigation into the attempted hit on Gately, Smyth's involvement in criminal activities expanded, including his role in a drug gang in Coolac, North Dublin. Furthermore, Smyth acted as muscle for one of the warring factions in Drogheda. He maintained close associations with several notorious figures, including North Dublin mobster Mr. Flashy, his cohort Mohammed Smew, who is currently serving time for his involvement in the Kinahan plot to assassinate Patsy Hutch, and Gangland enforcer Scott Capper. In May 2019, 22-year-old Sean Little, a member from Coolock, fell victim to a meeting on an isolated roadway in Balbriggan, only to be murdered by unknown assailants. His lifeless body was found near a burning vehicle. Little's tragic death escalated tensions, plunging Coolock into a state of warfare and igniting a series of killings throughout 2019, which claimed the lives of 5 men associated with the Coolock gang. Despite his friendship with Little, suspicion quickly fell on Smyth in the aftermath of the tragedy. While he joined the victim's grieving father and Hamid Sanambar, an Iranian who had previously worked as Little's driver, at the scene in Walshtown shortly after Little's murder, Sanambar's fate took a tragic turn just days later. He was gunned down while visiting the family home to offer condolences, with authorities suspecting he was wrongly accused of orchestrating Sean Little's involvement in the drug trade that led to his murder. Smyth found himself in increasingly dangerous circumstances as former allies turned against him. In a bold move to assert his innocence, he travelled to the UK to undergo a lie detector test, subsequently sharing the results on social media. However, despite his efforts, Little's associates remained convinced that Smyth, driven by a €200,000 debt to the Kinahan cartel, was responsible for Sean's death. Among those seeking vengeance was Sean's grieving father, Stephen Little, who blamed Smyth for the brutal killing and plotted his retribution. Detectives from the elite drugs and organised crime unit intervened just in time, arresting Stephen Little with a powerful G9 semi-automatic pistol. He was subsequently sentenced to 6 years in prison after openly admitting to possessing the firearm with the intent to kill Smyth, lamenting that he hadn't had more time to exact his revenge. Despite facing intense scrutiny, Smyth has never been arrested or charged in connection with Sean Little's murder. Following the attempt on his own life, Smyth continued to exert influence in the ongoing Coolock feud, solidifying his status as a trusted associate of the Finglas-based drug dealer Mr. Flashy. Smyth found himself deeply entangled in the violent events that swept through Finglas and Clondalkin in 2019. His involvement in the feud, coupled with his recruitment by the Kinahan cartel to carry out the hit on Gately, marked a significant escalation in his criminal activities. Despite his pleas of innocence, the Special Criminal Court found him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in February 2021. They concluded that Smyth had acted as both the driver and the gunman during the attack, describing him as a dangerous and ruthless criminal. Consequently, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison, though he brazenly predicted his release shortly after the conclusion of 5 World Cups. His co-accused, Gary McAreevy, was sentenced to 4 years, with the final year suspended for his part in burning the getaway car. Both Smyth and McAreevy are currently appealing their convictions, arguing that certain evidence obtained from phone data was unlawfully acquired and should have been inadmissible at their trial. The retention and access of mobile phone data under a 2011 Irish law, also challenged by Graham Dwyer, who was convicted in 2015 for the murder of childcare worker Elaine O'Hara, played a crucial role in the legal backdrop. Following his conviction, Smyth grappled with the challenges of adapting to prison life, voicing concerns to the governor of Dublin's Mountjoy prison about his isolation for safety reasons. As a result, he was transferred to Cork Prison. However, concerns soon arose about his perceived influence among inmates there, leading to another relocation to Portloy's prison. Even in Portloy's, Smyth continued to assert his dominance, resulting in clashes with another prominent Kinahan figure, Freddie Thompson. To prevent further conflict, both Thompson and Smyth were moved to separate facilities, with Smyth being sent back to Cork. Since his return, Smyth has been integrated into the general prison population, but remains classified as being at high risk of assault by fellow inmates across the Irish prison system. Share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. If you found my investigative analysis insightful, please be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the Pursuit of Perpetrators channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon too, so you'll get notified each time I release a new video. I appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until then, stay curious and keep seeking truth.